Yeah, it's such an important thing is the psychological pressure you put in opposition. When you go into the break and you go into the change room and you have an over like that, it just gives you massive momentum. They're looking at restricting us to under 200, and then they're suddenly facing 206 with an over like that. Every time we live close to him, and he continues to amaze us. So to go out there and hit the first ball like that for 6 and then continue the way he does. But he has been batting exceptionally well in the nets all the way through pre-season and into the tournament. So probably not surprising, but it's just another unbelievable MS Dhoni moment. And then Patarana, he's a very special talent as well, just the way that he comes and does things. I was really pleased with his accuracy tonight. He was outstanding. Obviously to get the wickets. I said to him afterwards, the wickets is a bonus, but his accuracy tonight was really good. Because sometimes you'll bowl accurately, not wickets. Tonight he was accurate and got the wicket, so it's great to see he got the reward. He's a very special bowler. Okay, this is going to get quite complicated. I coach externally. I don't coach internally. So I give him a target. I tell him to hit the target. How he does it, he works out for himself, and he works his own technique out. So that's how we do it. I give him a glove, hit the glove. I give him a target at the bottom of the pitch, hit the target, and he works it out. For us to really try, even a conventional bowler, to really try and understand an action is very difficult. So when you've watched someone a lot, you'll pick up little things that are, you act like a mirror almost for some people, and you see that something's a little bit different. So I've got a few signals with him that I can see when I'm catching a ball from him that something's just gone off. But I don't try and coach internally. I don't tell him how to do it. I tell him what to do, and he works it out himself. So that's the way, my coaching style. And particularly for someone like him that's so unique, he will work out his own way of hitting a target. And that's why I say his accuracy tonight was the most rewarding for me, because as he starts getting accurate, he's going to become better and better and better at what he does. Allow him to be unique. Don't try and figure it out. Yeah, it's huge. I mean, he is putting a tremendous amount of effort in, especially the fact that when he comes on, they take the spinners off, they put the paceman on, so he's become more and more effective at that. But they didn't bowl spin again the rest of the game because he was at the wicket. So it's about how do you control the match, and someone like him can control it because they can't bowl spin anymore. They don't want to. They're scared to. So his ability to now be effective against the pace bowling is become a massive asset for him. He hit a cover drive through extra cover. It was just the flow of the bat. It wasn't the brute force that he sometimes does with it. It just flew to the fence. And I don't think people appreciate the timing with which he hits the ball. He's got some brute force, but his timing is outstanding. So it is great to see the rewards he's getting, particularly against the paceman, because when the more effective he becomes with that, the more the opposition have to strategize against us. But a tremendous reward for what he's doing. Okay, to answer the first question, I think the unsung heroes tonight are Tushar and Shardul. I think Shardul bowled one of the overs, the best overs I've ever seen. We talk about execution, so you go and look at his impact points in that over that he went for 2 runs. It was outstanding. The whole game, in fact, turns on that moment. At that stage, they're still looking at 12s or 13s and over. The game's very much in the balance. He bowls it over and they're up at 14s. The game turned there. So to me, yes, Matisha will get a lot of the accolades, and he deserves it because of the way he bowled and the breakthroughs he did. But those 2 gentlemen did exceptionally well for us through that middle phase to push the rate out of the reach of the Mumbai Indians. So Tushar and Shardul. Tushar is a very intelligent bowler. Our conversations around his tactics, his understanding of conditions and opposition. One of the things we really try and do is make sure bowlers have clarity when they arrive at the game, so they know exactly what they do, and then also understand their tactics. So not just what the tactic is, but why it's like that. And he has very clear understanding of the tactic, and he knows why it's like that. He knows why he's going into the wicket, where the big side is, what line it bowl. So both of them are very intelligent bowlers. But to me, in many ways, this game turned around. Sure, the 2 wickets that Patarana took, but Shardul's over was just outstanding. I think that they need to define the wide rules. I think if they give us the wide rules proper understanding, we can then tactically structure overs. So I think at the moment, I think what's happened with the review system, as you can see, it's become quite, because it's an interpretation, it's very, and I feel for the umpires, it's not a criticism of the umpires, but because it's interpretation, it makes it difficult. If we knew black and white what it was and how it worked, we can then use the wide rules cleverly. So I think that's one thing that could make a big difference just from cricketing perspective, and then also give something. Like, for example, if a batsman's staying out of the leg stump, it doesn't matter where he goes. If we've got a heel to target, if he wants to move into the stumps, that's his problem. He's moved the wide line. So I think we can use the wide rule very cleverly and make it a little more even contest. I think one of the most important things you can give your cricketers is something called safety. Psychological safety is the buzzword, but safety to fail, safety to try, safety to grow. be challenged all the time, but be trusted. And I think that's one of the things that happens at CSK. I don't think that's one of the things that happens at CSK. That is one of the things that happens at CSK. Last year, they used to joke with Shardul that he was going for the purple cap and the orange cap because he went for so many runs, but was taking wickets. But we trusted him, and he knew he was safe. And I think that's a very important aspect of CSK. And certainly from Shivam Dube's perspective, to play like he does, you have to initially take risks. And there was a while that he was battling a bit, but allowing someone to grow, allowing someone to feel safe, to make mistakes and become better is an important part of it, and that's what's happened with him. He's a talent, and it's not even us teaching them the talent; it's unlocking the talent they already have, and I think that's what's happened with Shivam. MS Dhoni is not one of the most incredible cricketers I've ever come across, just in the way that he goes about it, his calmness at the wicket. We use him as a batting template when we're bowling at the death of pre-season because he's so good at it, and if we can test out our theories against him, then we know we're going to do well. But the other thing is that everyone else is more interested in his injuries than he is. He's one of the hardest men also that I've ever come across. So I don't even think we know to what extent he may or may not be in pain. He just carries on and does his thing. He's just amazing by it. I'm sure there's some niggles. I mean, as life goes on, we get our niggles. But he seems to get in the middle, and he ran those two really quick tonight, and he just gets on with it. He just has that ability to ignore what it is and do what needs to be done. But I mean, to me, it's just who he is, just the way he goes about it. We're more concerned about his injuries. When I say we, I mean the public is more concerned about his injuries than he is.